Good morning, guys. You join me on my day off. I've been invited to go and take one of my friend's cars out for a drive today. It is a lovely sunny spring day, so the weather's going to be really nice, and hopefully see what his car's all about. Definitely need some of this today.
20 minutes later.
Right guys, I've just arrived in Newport. I've just collected the car off of the owner. He said that I'd come at the afternoon, so that's very kind of him.
Five minutes later.
Right, let's see what this car can do then. Sun shining, lovely car, and a van and a lorry in your way to ruin your day. Right, so I've had the car for about half hour now, so I'm just going to give my first impressions of it since I've been driving it, and we're about halfway to where I want to go to take some photos and talk over the car properly. So first impressions are, it's pretty nippy. You get sort of a nice boost of power between 5,000 and sort of 7,000 revs. The clutch is actually quite heavy. I'm quite used to having a light clutch in my more sort of newer car, but it's yeah, the clutch is really quite firm. You're sort of not knowing the car, it's made it a little bit difficult to sort of work out when it's on and when it's off, but I'll get used to that as we go on. Driving position, I had to change the seat. I was really hype. I mean, I still feel like I'm sort of sat on top of the car, but the actual seats themselves are really nice. But I had to adjust the seat down because it was really high. I felt like I was driving a bus. But no, so far so good. Welcome to the Clio Renault Sport 182 that my buddy Chris owns. He's owned it for about 4 years now, and he's slowly sort of done the opposite of modifying a car. He's put it back to standard with sort of a OEM plus sort of feel to it. So he sort of brought the car back to its original state as like a homage to what it should be in its like sort of purest form. Driving over here, we are on the south side of the island. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's been really nice to drive. The steering's really direct. You can sort of feel it weighted in the corners. Sort of got used to the clutch now and how that sort of feels. Really like the VVTi that the car's got. Sort of makes you sort of work the car, work it through the gears, and get that extra little bit of boost through the powertrain. But no. Going over the car, Chris has informed me that he's sort of done all the really important things, such as getting the time belt done, all the drive belts done. Compared to my car, the rear leg space is very generous. You could definitely get 2, maybe 3 friends in the back here. Being the Renault Sport, obviously it has all the sort of top spec things, so it's got electric windows, got an aftermarket radio there. That's the only modification that Chris has actually done to the car, so he's put a non-standard radio in there, which actually, if I let you into a little secret, I fitted that when I used to do my old job. The stereo in this car is a Sony DAB unit. It's also got hands-free, and it works with the steering wheel controls, which is nice to keep those original features of the vehicle. We've also got AC and climate control system down here. And the AC has been lovely in the weather today. It's been so hot. And the vehicle itself has done 102,000 miles. So again, for the age of the vehicle, it's very low. Normally examples like this, sort of you'd be seeing well into your sort of 120s, 130s. And down the side here you've got your traction control, your headlight adjustment and the cruise control settings, I believe that is down there as well. The car also comes with electric wing mirrors and again auto up and down for the driver. And a decent sized glove box full of your usual rubbish. It's lovely aluminium sort of sports pedals down there. The first thing I like about Chris's Renault Sport 182 is these seats. They are really, really comfy. They're sort of a buckety. They've got some nice side bolsters and some nice lower bolsters, but they've got this lovely sort of Alcantara feel in the middle and then nice leather around the outsides. Another bit I like about the car is that it really wants to let you know that it's a Renault Sport. You've got badges here, here, on the door sill, down there if you can see that, Renault Sport. On the steering wheel, Renault Sport. You have a little display at the top here which tells you again that you're driving a Renault Sport. The third thing I like about this car is the interior is really well aged. The fourth thing I like about this car is the twin exhaust at the back. It's got that really sporty look, and it doesn't look out of place on a small hatchback, which is really cool. So I really like the way this car looks. That's the final thing. So down the side it does look like it's a little bit wider. It's a really nice factory alloys there in sort of a gunmetal grey. They are 16-inch. So the only modification to the engine is it's got a K&N panel filter. Other than that, it's standard. It's just been maintained and kept at tip-top condition. A lot of outlay from Chris, making sure that the engine is looked after. It's been fully serviced. It's had the cam belt done, and it's also had the drive belts all done as well. So yeah, no, really clean engine bay. You've got a little spoiler on the top here, just a little flick, but it's enough just to add that sporty look to it. You've got the Team Heco wind deflectors, a nice modification. I've got the same style on my car. You've got upgraded wiper blades, so you've got the aero blades in there, just look a little bit smarter, make it look a bit newer. So the first thing I don't like about this car is the fact there's no cup holders, or at least there's no cup holders that I can find. The second thing I dislike about the car is the seats. I already spoke about it on the way here, but yeah, they're just not low enough for what I would class as being a sporty driving position. They're very comfortable, very hugging, really nice seats, but they're just not in the right position, and I can't make them seem to go any lower than what they are. So that's the second thing I don't like about it. Now the third thing I dislike about this car requires me to tell you a story. So the story goes that myself and Jason, if you've watched the videos before, would have met him. We were driving this car from where we are currently, so on the south side of the island, and Jason decided to dump the clutch and pretty much pull away as hard as he could, and it actually split the centre section of the exhaust in two. It blew the welds open, and it turned the car into a tractor, basically. It sounded horrendous, and when we sort of rang Chris to say, oh, we're going to drive your car back, pick it up for you, but something's happened and the exhaust is sort of making a horrible noise, he sort of said, yeah, that's a very common problem with these vehicles. The centre section welds are not great, but he's since had that rectified. As you can tell, the whole way here it's been nice and quiet, no drones, and that is a common problem with these. The fourth thing I dislike about this car, and this is something that I've found out via knowing Chris and the difficulty he's had to find someone to actually do this for him, and that is how difficult it is to get the cam belt done. It's a very expensive job. You need a specific set of tools, and if you don't know what you're doing, it can really cause issues. What made me want to drive this car was I was really keen to see how the 182 sort of performs. Obviously it's a naturally aspirated engine, so it has variable valve timing, which, like I was saying earlier, kicks in between 5 and 7,000. You really feel the sort of engine note change. It picks up speed a lot quicker. It is 182 brake horsepower. There's that VVTi. I may have taken a wrong turning. Not too sure where I am now. There was a road closed sign, and essentially I had to turn off, but I'm just going to try and work out the way back now. It's going to be interesting. Right, so now appears to be on a farm. Lovely brook there and a bridge, but yeah, still no idea where I am. Right, I've just seen a signpost for saying Newport, so we've found our way back. There's my car. So we're back at the car park where I met Chris, and the car is driven fantastically. I really enjoyed having the opportunity to take it out for a drive. I can see why Chris waited for the right one, and then I can see also why he's gone down the route that he has, putting it back to standard. The package that Renault offered when this car was brand new is pretty much bang on for what a sort of hot hatch should be. Comparison wise, I don't think it's fair to compare it to the Audi that I drove in the last review, but certainly against my old Fiesta ST, I think of the two, if I had to buy another one, I think I would buy one of these. So I'm just going to hop back into my car and drive home. So I'm going to end the video here. I'd like to say a massive thank you for Chris for trusting me with his car. I respect him for doing that. I've had a really great time, and I'm going to sign off here. So if you could like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.